in 83, I had a problem with my womb problem. By then, my husband has changed his position in the job also as a very senior person in banking sector. He was in charge of the, everything. Like, and he had no time to spend on me, I suppose, and the children. He knew that I was at home and I was handling everything, but he had no time actually to take me to a hospital, and he had just started the new job for a very high salary, and but we couldn't afford nursing homes. So he said, you try and go to one of these hospitals, Castle Street or some, but I just didn't want to go by myself. Young person and no mother, no father, no aunties, nobody to go with, mother-in-law gone, dead and gone, nobody to go with. So I suffered a lot mentally. And then I was praying to Swami. Having bhajans in the house, I was praying to Swami and said, Swami, please do something for me. And then one day I thought I'll go for a bhajan on a Thursday. Sick, but I went to the bhajan, sat down I was a bhajan singer, no, then Mrs. Murugesu, Padma Murugesu, auntie, I don't know whether you must be knowing the name. And they were sitting in front. I was also sitting next to her. Then she said, Ira, on such and such a date, she told me a date about 2 weeks later. She's leaving to Puttaparthi for good. She's going from there, she's going to her husband's, wherever he was living. He said, then I said, can I join you? That was Swami's call for me. Because I was praying to Swami. Can I join you? She said, please come, I'll take you very carefully. I'll take you. I said, I'm sick. Don't worry. You come. Swami will look after you. Immediately I came home. I told my husband, I am going. You have no time. No, I will go to Swami and his Swami will cure me. I went. 83, I was there. Then we planned. The whole entire Samiti people were there then because communal riot time. People have gone. They are going to various countries with the blessings. Lot of people are there. So then Padma said, Ira, we'll ask Swami, you also take your turn and ask for an interview. I said, right. We all discussed and someone had asked for an interview and we got the chance of an interview. Very first time for me after so many years. Then we were made to sit in the corridor, and as soon as the door was open, I rushed inside and sat just near, very close to Swami's fathers, very close. Sat down there and everybody came, our committee members, everyone was inside, only Sri Lanka there. And then after distributing Vibhuti, Swami came and sat down, and I was so happy now, touching the robe quietly and started talking just casually in English a little bit, and then started the conversation with them in Tamil. I couldn't understand. I was the only Sinhala person. But I was so happy, able to touch Swami's feet and robe and all. And then I kept on like that. Swami finished everything. But when Swami was telling us, I saw Swami doing this and doing this, showing something. Then I heard the word, you see, children. I heard that. Then I was wondering, is Swami telling about me, something about me? You see, children? Because connected to me, you see, children are connected to me. Wondering, and then I waited. I didn't understand anything. Then finally, after the discussion, it was a discussion, something like they were asking questions also as to why they are not doing proper service activities. Swami was almost scolding them. And then Swami turned down to me and he said, looked at me nicely and said, smiled and said, no, how is your house? How is your house? When Swami asked me, how is your house? I didn't know the meaning, the spiritual meaning of the house. I came to my house, the house I left behind. My children came to my mind. Mind is playing no socks, no? So many thoughts came to my child's exam and everything. I said, Swami, I don't know. Like this, I said, I don't know. I only know that my second son is sitting the exam, O-levels exam tomorrow. Please bless him, Swami, I said. He said, don't worry about children. Then I said, my husband, he just looked the other side. He said something, but I don't want to repeat that word now. And because he was careless. He has not taken care of me. He said something, but I better not tell that word. And then he said, I will take care of everything. And then he said he touched. I was worshipping Swami like this with my folded hand. Swami held my two hands like this, squeezing like this. He said, you continue with the good work you are doing. I am always with you. I am always with you. I am always with you. And pressed my hands to my two legs like this. Then I'm always with you. And then I was, that feeling was, I don't know, I was in heaven that moment. Everything ended and we were dispersed. The whole crowd came out and we met in a quiet place and then said, Swami spoke. Did you know that Swami spoke to us in Tamil? Did you notice that? I said, yes, I was wondering why. Because Swami never spoke to me like that in my language. And then they said, Swami has been talking all the way about you only. Said that you have, from that very small bhajan place center, you have been looking after the sick children, village children who were coolies children in the UC. Those days we had the bucket system. We didn't have these posh toilets and all. So the people, those fathers used to drive vehicles and collect the dirt and go. And those children were living in lines, like, little homes, tiny homes. And when these children come and hang on the windows of this small house where the bhajan was conducted, the lady of the house used to chase them, take a cane and chase them away. I said, please don't do that. They are innocent children. No, they must be liking to hear these music and bhajans. I was also like that when I was young and when I first got to know. Please let me handle them. And I used to go out and handle them and I got to know them. And by that time I had Bal Vikas training also. And I used to teach them to sing bhajans, slokas outside, come early and teach them. Like that I brought them up. And if one child gets lost, didn't come to class, I used to go searching for into their house. And this Swami has been telling them. Yes. And then said, if you don't know, if you people don't know how to organize service activities, ask this person, ask this person. Like that he has told. She knows a lot of, she can do so many, she's doing so much of things, Swami has told. When I was sick, when Swami asked me about the house, that time, then Swami said, I will look after. That day I went home, the next morning I had got up. I was very bad. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't even walk from that time onwards. And then she went and complained. Dr. Vansa came and saw me and started giving me injections, and lady started boiling things and giving me, and I was bleeding a lot. And then Swami, Vansa had been complaining to Swami every day. And Swami had said, get her entered to hospital. I thought, how can I get into hospital and wait here? I must get back to Colombo because my 3 children are at home, little infants at home. So I didn't want to go. Yeah, hysterectomy was done finally. Boom, boom, very bad. Menopause, not menopause also, too young to have the menopause, but I was just bleeding. Something happened. Anyway, then I thought, no, I am not entering hospital, please tell Swami that I want to get back home. So once I used to go and tell Swami. Then I looked at my passport to find I had to leave before the 2nd of January. Otherwise, finish. October I came. October, November, December. January 2nd I had to leave. Before that, visa over. So I thought to myself, in November, end of November this is. Yes. Or in the one of the two, somewhere around that time, I can't remember the dates. I told Swami in the night, I just sat up on my bedding, sat up and I said, Swami, please forgive me, I'm not stubborn, but I just don't want to stay here. I prefer to die here than, get into hospital and big problems. So please send me back home if possible, I said. And that night I fell asleep. All of a sudden, mid of the night may have been, I hear a horse galloping. It was galloping. And then actually a horse, big white horse, came up to almost near me, that distance, stopped, and someone got off. Gentleman figure of a gent, stood up, sat up like this, like as if navy clothing, like white, full white, like big boots, like worn big boots and cap and everything was covered, and kept a big trishul, kept it on the ground like this, stood like this and said, didn't call me anything. Your duties are not over yet. Go back. That's all, the message. Your duties are not over yet. Go back. And no sounds of the horse going back. That was the end of the dream. Woke up in the morning. Goodness. Fit. I can even run now. After the dream. So I got up. Everyone had gone. I had slept for a little longer time. Dressed up quickly. And I said, today I'm going to see Swami. Took my pillow as a cushion and went down. I was on upstairs. Went down. And once I saw me and came running, what are you doing? And made me sit on a chair. And Swami came out of the entrance. Normally, patients are made to sit very close to Swami. No? Swami came up to me first and looked at me like this and said, Sri Lanka, I'll see you. That's all. And then I had a picture of Swami in my hand, gave it to him, he signed. I gave the pen also, signed and gave me the things back and created vibhuti and gave me lot of vibhuti. And then I held it and we finished everything, we went out. Dr. Vansa and friends and everybody came. What did Swami say? I said, this is what Swami said. Then said, you better make arrangements and go back tomorrow itself. You are definitely going. I said, how can I have not made arrangements with the flight? We will do everything for you. Murugesu said, she's the one who brought. We will do everything for you. The next day they packed my things and they said, come. They have already done everything. Who did everything? If not Swami. Everything was done for me. They took me, put me in the front seat just behind the bus driver and said, please take care of her. She's a patient of Swami. Hand her over to a taxi so that she will be dropped in the airport and tell the airport people that she has to be taken carefully. Like that, instructions were also given, full instructions, and sent me everything. When I got off the bus, the taxi was side there, waiting for me to go put my leg from the foot to this foot inside. So comfortable. Then got off the plane and went out. Now what do I do? Not planned anything in my mind. Stood and waited. I was leaning on the wall and waiting. Someone clad in white, full white, came up to me and said, Miss, you came in the last flight from Bangalore. or from Bangalore? Yeah, I said yes. And he said, did Mrs. Rajasingham come? I said, no, she was with me actually in my room, but she didn't come. She said she's coming later. He said, I came to pick her up. She's not there. Why are you waiting here? I said, I'm waiting to go home. Where do you live, madam? I said, I'm at Navala. I have to go to Dehivala, so I'm on my way through Navala. I can take you, please come. Carried my luggage, put me in the car. It was a white Benz car. And put me behind, took me very comfortably to my home. Husband and children were waiting there. They were shocked to see me back home so comfortably in such a big car. And then what happened? Till up towards 7 o'clock, I was all right. We had early dinner, fed the children, early dinner, and trying to put the children to sleep, I started bleeding again. Like a tap again, which was held for so long. And immediately my big boy and father, they rushed and got a taxi that time and rushed me to Durden's hospital. There they said, the theatre is closed for 1 week. In 2 or 3 days it will be open. It had been closed to sterilize. Now imagine, sterilized theatre. They had given me blood. I had been unconscious, obviously. 6 lines of blood had been given to me within that short period. And in the morning I was dressed, and now final day for the theatre. And taking me, husband and they were held back. They couldn't come. Traffic block or something. But I could see Swami pushing my cart also. And he operated on me. And I became all right. Still I'm all right. At 86, I'm still doing all my work by myself and doing everything. Thanks to Swami. Swami is living with me. He's always in my heart. The moment I close my eyes and I think of Swami and think of something, it works. And if I want anything, it comes to me. I don't have to ask anyone. And then one fine day in 1989, I think, yes, 2nd October. 1st October in the night, or before that, we got an invitation from one of his cousins asking to come to Kegol for the wedding. Her cousin's daughter, yes, daughter's wedding. So we were planning, and the next night we get another call to say that my father's cousin had passed away and the funeral was the wedding day, on the same day. Then what to do? I said, you better go to the wedding. I will go to the funeral. He said, no, nothing doing. You are coming with me. We must go, we must both go. And by that time, I was in the habit of chanting Om Sai Ram continuously. That was my mantra, Om Sai Ram. So I kept Om Sai Ram, kept chanting, and I said, I hope my husband will change his mind and let me go for this funeral. I can't do without going for this funeral. He had been very helpful when we were small children. And his children are still my friends, like cousins. So he said nothing doing, and then what to do? Obey my husband also. I got ready and got in he was driving, and for one thing, I didn't want to send him alone in the car because he was a reckless driver. When he gets into the car, he's not concentrating on the journey. He's concentrating on his work. Big job, no? And when he has to retire, send him out of his work because he had robbed or something, he comes and suffers and at home. He's a person like that. So I didn't want to send him alone in the car. I said, okay, I will come. But I sat down. From the time I sat down in the front seat, I've been chanting Om Sai Ram, Om Sai Ram, Om Sai Ram. Not a word with my husband. It was very unfair, but I was hurt. So I kept on chanting Om Sai Ram. When we were somewhere near Attanagalla bridge, just before the bridge there is a temple. where people normally stop there and put coins to the till. And then I said, please stop. He didn't stop. He just drove past. As soon as he drove past, I saw two lorries coming, one after another from far. And then we were going behind some vehicles. He overtook this vehicle. As he overtook, that also came fast. It had knocked on the car. The lorry had hit our car. I only heard a noise and I had shouted. Later on, he told me, I only heard Om Sai Ram. My husband said, I only heard Om Sai Ram. I didn't hear the knock. You have shouted Om Sai Ram. And I said, I heard the knock. And, the car, people who saw it only later on told us how it went flying. It went flying, they said, like this. From the road, it went flying above like that and went and landed on the paddy field, hitting a road light post. It bent down in two, and then this went flying like this and stopped as if it landed, as if a plane landed. It had landed on the field where the electricity department was having electric wires all over. People started coming down the slope from the main road, came running and said, come, the wires might catch fire and they might come down and the car will catch fire. You all have to come out and trying to open the door, can't open. And nothing wrong with the two of us. I was quite conscious. And nothing. I had a small bruise like this, like a nail mark. That's all I noticed. He was shocked. He was like in shock, but conscious. So he was pulled out. They opened the car somehow, opened and took him and carried him up to the road and kept him on the road. I was so conscious. I went there. I knew he had to be given something hot. I ran to the nearby shop and got a hot cup of plain tea and brought and gave it to him. And then later on, he was put to a small house nearby and we looked after him. Later on, the two of us went to the police and police came and they took over everything. And then my husband told me, you better go back home now, and put me in a taxi and sent me home. He had to get the car. Car was condemned. Gone. Completely gone. The engine had come inside. Smashed. They won't condemn no otherwise. So see how we were saved with that big accident. Who did all this? And in the afternoon, I did a bath. I went to the funeral. After everything was over, I told them I came after a very serious accident. They were shocked. I said, Sai Baba who saved my life and sent me to this funeral. I was just thinking, I can do so much if I have a spacious house. So I couldn't build that house. Only the thought came and I didn't plan on anything. All of a sudden my daughter came and told me one day, Amma, you always say that because whenever I go out for bhajans, I won't tell my children because they are unhappy that the mother is not in the house all the time. I used to tell them, no, Baba, nothing to do also, no garden even in this place. I feel so lazy to do. That's why I'm going to see people. I go to see my friends and all bogus things. Also, I used to tell my child. So she said, you complain now saying that you have no garden. They have bought a house with a big garden. I will put up a house for you and Tata. You all better go and live in that house and give this house on rent and get a living also. Earn your living also from that. She built this house. But I never invited Swami to this place. I continued bhajans and everything there. Emptying the house, I used to have it there. More than, I don't know how many years from the time. About 30 years I must have had bhajans in that house. All the people used to come, all over the ground and all over the place people used to be. They used to call me Sai Auntie. Taxi drivers used to say, Sai Auntie ke kidhar? Come. Autos. I was well known by Sai. And anyway, bhajans used to be held and So there when we were living, we did so much of work that was actually like puttapatti. So much of work been done. And I have a maid, she must have been about 20 years when she came to me. Now she's 71, still with me. She's the one who's looking after me now also. And she had, uh, she was doing all the work for me whenever we had functions like Sai, bhajans, or when people used to come for medicines or whatever time. And she was very close to Swami because she used to do the garlands also for me. Pluck the flowers, do everything for Swami, keep flowers, keep the water, everything. Swami used to had been coming to her often. Even on her bed, used to come and sit on her bed and talk to Soma.
තාගතුමා ඉස්සරහ පැත්තෙන් ආවා පුට්ටු උඩ වාඩි වුණා. ඇවිල්ලා කතා කරා මට මං ඒ ගමන පුට්ටු උඩින්ම මමත් වාඩි වුණා. ස්වාමීලාගෙම වාඩි වුණා. මගේ අත් දෙකෙන්ම අල්ලගත්තයි. ඇවිල්ලා අත් දෙකෙන්ම අල්ලගත්තා මේ ඇයි අර ඉඳලා ආවේ කියලා ඇහුවා පරණ ගෙදර ඉඳලා මෙහාට. එච්චරයි ඊට පස්සේ මේ පැත්තෙම ගියා. මං යනවා කියලා ගියා. මට එන්න කිව්වේ නෑ කියලා කිව්වේ. ඒකත් කිව්වා එන්න කිව්වේ නැත්තේ මොකෝ කියලා සුහාමට කිව්වා. මං කිව්වා ඉතින් මට නම් ඒක තේරෙන්නේ නෑ මං දන්නේ නෑ. ඒකට කවන්නේ නෑ කිව්වා. ඔව්. ගොඩාක් දැක්කේ මං අර පරණ ගෙදර ඉන්නකොට හරියට දැක්කා. ඇඳේ බුදියගෙන ඉන්න ඇඳ උඩත් ඇවිල්ලා වාඩි වෙලා කතා කර කරත් හිටියා. ඇයි නිකෙදින්නේ නැත්තේ වාඩි වෙන්නේ හොඳට අප්පුඩි ගහන්නත් දෙක අල්ලලා කියලා මට කිව්වා. ඔව් මෙහෙම කරලා ගහන්න කියලා මගේ අත් දෙකෙන් අල්ලලා අප්පුඩි ගැහුවා.
Bhajans. I was the other also older.
ඇවිල්ලා හැමදාම ඉතින් ඉස්සරහින් ඇවිල්ලා යනවා මටමයි කතා කරන්නේ ඇවිල්ලා රැයට නිදා ගන්නකොට ඇවිල්ලා මට ඇවිල්ලා කියන්නේ හූද්දනවා නිදෝ තාමත් නිදිද කියලා මං කිව්වා ඔව් කියලා. අර වීලුක් කියනවා මට හිටපු ගමන්. හරියට මාත්‍ය කියනවා එහෙම තමයි. කොහොමම ඉන්න කියලා එහෙම කියනවා.
ඉතින් ඔයා කොහොමද ස්වාමීව දැනගත්තේ? ආයෝ කලින්
ඉස්සරින්ද මං හරි ආදරේ ආසාවෙන් හිටියනේ. හැමදාම පොඩි කාලේ ඉඳලා ගියානේ අපි. හැමදාම බජන් වලට ගියා චූටි කාලේ ඉඳලම. ඉතින් මට හැමදාම ඒක මතක් වෙනවා. තාමත් මං ඒක කර කර යනවා තියෙනවා. ඔව්. එතන ඉන්න වාඩි වෙලා ඉන්නකොට ඇවිල්ලා ආවනේ කතා කරලා වාඩි යනවා. ගෙදර ඉන්නකොටත් එහෙමයි වට ඇවිල්ලා ඉඳගෙන ඉන්නකොට මයි ළඟට ඇවිල්ලා රැයට වාඩි වෙලා ඉන්නවා. ගෙදර කවුරුවත් නැති වුනහම ඇවිල්ලා බලලා කියලා යනවා. කවුරුත් නැහැනේ ගෙදර කියනවා. නෑ මං කිව්වා කට්ටියම එළියට ගිහිල්ලා නේ කියනවා. තන්තවසෙම ගෑ ගන්නවා. අය ලස්සනට ඇඳලා එනවනේ. ආනවා ඉතින් අප්පුඩි ගාලා කිව්වා මට කියලා දෙනවා. ස්වාමී ඇවිල්ලා අප්පුඩි ගාලා වගෙන් කියන්න කියලා.
එයා කියලා තියෙනවා.
ඔව් එයා කියලා කියනවා ඇවිල්ලා කියන්න කියලා. ඉතින් මම කියනවා ටිකක් කියනවා. ඔව් ඔය ඇයිට පොඩ්ඩක් කිව්වාම ඇයිට ගොඩක් බෑනේ කියලා.
Swami had been appearing and I used to hear that Swami comes and talks to her, told this, told that, started teaching bhajans, and he has been telling her, you must, when bhajans are going on, you must clap your hands and start singing. You will learn to sing, you sing. And then she has told, you teach me. And then she had been repeating what Swami said, things like that. I had a dream in a large area somewhere like in Anuradhapura area. It looked like that. The huge trees and there are places. In a place like that, I was seated with a friend of mine. The same friend that very first time in 71 whom I went with, that lady. And I was seated. Swami walked up to us. And I was in the center now. Swami sat on my right side. On my right hand said, asked me, Miss, don't you want to be a teacher? Just that only. I turned round to Swami and did this. I have a habit of, when I talk about Swami, my hands go like this. So I did this and said, Swami, I'm not, that's all I was able to say. I wanted to say I'm not qualified. Because when I finished my exam, those days we had SSA, JSC and SSA. When I finished my SSA, I went and registered myself at the employment exchange. I was called in. Quickly, I was called in for interviews. From the next day itself, I used to be called for interviews because I have been captaining netball and school captain and monitor and all that. Very, what do you call that, energetic person. So I got a job also there. And then I wanted to tell Swami that I wanted to join not my parents. I was actually living with my father's eldest brother and the wife who had no children that time. And until I got my job when I was very small. So they wanted to put me to the training college, teacher training college. Mind you, see how these things get connected. Teaching there, missing the teaching post, but I'm getting the teaching here. And then I said I missed that because I chose my career because I wanted money for my other two brothers were studying and they wanted money. They had to do exams. They had no money to buy books. So I thought I better take the job and I took the job and gave up my studies. So I wanted to tell that, but Swami was gone. But 2 weeks later, I happened to be in Puttaparthi I had gone for the 40-day program which was organized by the organization. EHV very first program with Dr. Kanu and Victor Kanu and Tong Jum Sai, all these people were called for that very special. And I, uneducated, I would call myself now because I couldn't get my education, proper education, but going for a training like this, seated in a corner and looking there also I'm watching Swami and not listening to Dr. Gokak and all these people lecturing. But somehow things were getting into me. I was absorbing all what was being told. Very keen on group activities, storytelling, things, particular 2 or 3 subjects, very keen on. I studied very well. And Swami once, he said, like this to me. Then I so did this and kept looking. Who is doing all these unseen things? When things start happening, the universe is full, this is love. Universe is love. The love energy will start flowing through you and then you will begin to feel it. Then you will wonder from where is it coming. Then you will begin to learn that it is from these 5 elements. Like that, little by little, who is this person who is creating all this? And somehow the message will come because whenever I have a problem, when I was actually from the very beginning, whenever I used to have a problem, I used to open up Vision of the Divine or some book, I just open a book and just say, having the problem in the mind, book will give me the answer. Or someone will give me a call and give me the answer. For no reason whatsoever. Like that, they will definitely get the message. Swami will pick on them. When you take the right foot, keep the right foot in front, Swami will come to you definitely and teach you, take you from with your hand and make you walk along.